Hello there everyone, welcome to the birthday Q&A. Yes, that's right, 1 year of Omega Luke Gaming. A year ago yesterday, in fact, I started the channel, uploaded the first Eintracht Frankfurt video. It looked like this, it was awful. Hey everyone, my name is Omega Luke. This is the first ever episode of Omega Luke Gaming. But thankfully, things have come on slightly better than that, I guess. I'll leave that up to you to decide. But we seem to have done very well. I have over 3,000 subscribers, which is a bit of a dream, really, because when I started the channel, I remember my missus saying, why are you starting another channel? Because I had only about 200 subscribers on my wrestling channel. And I just said I wanted to play the game. I want to share what I'm playing. And hopefully, who knows, I could get better than the wrestling YouTube channel, which had over 200 subscribers at the time. It only took me 5 months, to be fair, to get 200 subscribers on the wrestling channel. But thankfully, you guys came across, and thankfully to the FM Scout videos that everyone seen me to begin with, you all came across, and we have over 3,000 subscribers already. So I thought it'd be quite nice for some, I suppose a lot of you guys have heard me say a few of these answers in streams and stuff like that. But maybe for a lot of you guys who just watch the videos, don't necessarily tune into the streams, or only just started watching, you can really get to know me a little bit better. So if you're in for like Football Manager content, this might not be the video for you. However, if you're just intrigued, want to get to know me a little bit more, and just see the answers that I give, maybe your question I have answered, then please stick around. I hope you enjoy it. Smash the like button. This is more of just a celebration of 1 year of this channel. I wanted to do a Q&A for a long time. Let's not waste any time and let's get into it. So the first question I have here is from Michael Cox. Coxie here, Coxie FM here on Twitter at Coxie84, in case you want to give this man a follow, because by the looks of it, he's going to start doing some FM content. Love the videos on Feyenoord. I am really enjoying at the moment. Thank you very much, Coxie. I've been blogging my saves since FM18, so any tips if I wanted to jump into actually making videos for YouTube? I use a laptop, as that I'm always on the move with my job. So yes, Coxie, my suggestion is to just crack on and do it. So what I did, and it does take some time, is actually YouTubing how to do certain things. So I use OBS Studio and I use Streamlabs. I'm currently using Streamlabs to record this, and I use Streamlabs to record my gameplay. And it's quite easy to do once you pick it up, and it saves your settings so you don't have to set it up again. But I also use OBS Studio to do my live streams. So I use two different things just for the simple fact that I wanted to see what both are like, and I kind of like both. Or I'm just too lazy to swap. But one thing I would suggest is to use a webcam. So if you have a webcam, get one. If you don't, or if you have one on the laptop, that will do just to begin with, and see how you get on. Mainly because I did a lot of, if you ever went back and watched the Eintracht Frankfurt save, God bless you if you did. But I didn't use a webcam for a lot of that, and it was very hard to come across, to put across your feelings, to come across as charismatic. It's very hard to do that, to express what you're saying in just audio form. It's always easier to see, and people just like and prefer to see a webcam in the bottom corner. I know it's very contradicting, considering the highest YouTuber on YouTube is Jack Workspace, and he doesn't use a webcam. However, if you look at everyone else, they always do. Jack is just a myth. A legend, but a myth at the same time. Can you be two different things? Next up, we have Patreon member Jordan Bolland, and he has gone, not a question, but announce a European tour when lockdown is over and fans are able to attend, please, and I'll come with you to Belgium and see Lander. Now, this is what I love about my community, that we have sort of grown through the Discord. So if you're not on the Discord, please join the Discord, because we have a community through Patreon members, just through viewers, people who check into the live streams, people who only check the videos, of just people who just chat Football Manager, and it's brilliant. And I just dive in and out when I'm free, and chat to you guys, and you guys are all just chatting away and having a good time. Now, what Jordan is referencing is on stream not so long ago, before the lockdown happened and the virus came out. We did think about doing a European tour. It was more of like a a what-if sort of scenario, but we were going to go across to Sweden and see the likes of Peter Salin. We were going to go down to Belgium and see Lander, and of course a few other people. Definitely weren't going to Liverpool though to see Ryan Cassidy. No. He'd have to come down to us if we wanted to do that. But I'd love to do that. Of course I would. Money would be obviously a difficult one, not to mention I would have to be away from my child, which at the minute I would not want to do because I love spending time with him. But who knows? Maybe if we get a little bit bigger in the future and all this sort of dies down next year in 2021, maybe a European tour would be quite a good idea. Next question we have is from Aliu Yaman. He has simply put Cristiano, Messi, Cruyff. So I'm guessing he wants me to pick my favourite out of these three, and I've made it no sort of like secret that I'm a huge Cristiano Ronaldo fan. Cruyff was a bit before my time, like 70s, so as much as I know Johan Cruyff is a cracking player and I've seen a lot of stuff from him, I'm having to judge it between Ronaldo and Messi, and I've got to go with Ronaldo. Simply because I'm a Man United fan to begin with, but I think, I don't know, it's a weird one. Like Messi has the gift of the talent, and I think Ronaldo has worked for the talent. And I've never been gifted with any talent myself. I've had to work for everything that I'm good at, and I've had to do everything. So I think I relate more to Ronaldo too. But the interviews I've seen with Ronaldo with like Piers Morgan and stuff, he's such a nice person as well. I haven't seen that side of Messi because he doesn't speak English, or that I know of. So I've never really seen that many interviews. So for me, it's Cristiano Ronaldo. Ashish Jaya Prasad, and I'm sorry about the names. Hopefully I've got that correct. Favourite FM signing of all time, Luke? Now that is a difficult one. But I've got to say, I think I probably have to go with the youth to gold, and it's got to be the goalkeeper, Blanco. Formerly, of course, Jason Webster. We picked him up for like 250k, and he became like the first team goalkeeper immediately. And just watching the youth to go streams, you'll realise like how good he was very early on, and how much of like a save hero he became at like 17 years old. Every time he made a save, people would spam the chat with 17. So things like that is why he's probably my favourite FM signing of all time. So we've got a few now from Adam Duda, so I'm going to go through them quite quickly, hopefully. Is doing YouTube, I'm guessing he meant to say, FM videos your full-time job? If not, what is or has been your profession? So it is definitely not my full-time job. I'll be completely transparent with you. I make probably around about £400 to £500 a month through doing YouTube with FM Scout and doing my own stuff and Patreon. So it's not enough to warrant a full-time job. I would love for it to be a full-time job. So if you ever want to support me, the Patreon is the best way to get it. It's the best way to support me on a monthly basis, because they take the less money out. Like Twitch, they take 70% or something like that out, and YouTube exactly the same. But watching my videos, I do earn revenue from the videos. So just watching my videos, you do actually support me financially, albeit it's a very small amount on my channel. On FM Scout, it's a little bit more, so thank you very much for doing just that. But my actual full-time job is I'm an actual, I suppose I'm a facilities technician / engineer. So I did an apprenticeship at a local company. They are a big company, Becton Dickinson, you might have heard them. And then I left and rejoined the facilities department with a couple of people who I worked with in the past. So that is my full-time job. How did you learn to play FM so well? I think that's sarcastic. I've literally played it since like 2003. I even played the ones before that as well, but not as much. And through like 2008 all the way through to this year, I played it every year for a strong amount of time. So it's just become like second nature knowing how to play it now. How many hours a day do you spend playing FM? So that varies really. If I'm creating a video, I tend to spend about 2 hours playing the game. Then editing the video will obviously take a little bit longer. If I'm streaming, obviously it's a little bit more. Occasionally, lately, I've managed to not play it every day, which has been actually a blessing, because you sort of become to miss it, and it's not playing it every day because you have to. Sort of takes the fun out of it. So being able to miss a couple of days has actually been quite nice. What are the most overrated things that people playing FM should avoid? Now, this is actually quite a good question. And it's something that I actually do myself, and that is taking note of the star ratings that you are given. So I always go, he's a 5-star potential, he must be good. Not necessarily, it's all done... It's done by potential, but it's also done on the opinion of that certain coach who is given that star rating. So it might be a 5-star rating to your club, but your club might be in the conference. It's never going to be a 5-star rating, it'll be a half a star rating for a massive club like PSG, for example. So never really take note of the star rating, look at the attributes and use that as your go-to. What are your thoughts about Manchester United since Fergie left? And I'll go through pro, anti, Pogba at the same time. So, I mean, yes, I'm a Manchester United fan. We'll cover that a question as well. But since Fergie left, it has obviously been very frustrating. Mourinho had a couple of good wins with the Europa League. That was obviously fantastic. And the FA Cup every now and then. But the FA Cup's not what it used to be. Of course, it's never nice just playing in the Europa League. I'd much rather watch United on a Tuesday or a Wednesday night in the Champions League. We haven't had that blessing very often. And it's sort of become the norm now that we're not as good as what we used to be. We're sort of what Liverpool were in the noughties. Never anywhere near the top, but we're always like kicking around third or fourth. So it's disappointing, but hopefully we can pull back. Do I think Ollie will be good for us? Not necessarily. I would have much rather someone else, and Pochettino would be a choice if I had to pick someone. I would probably go for Pochettino right now. Him or Simeone for sure. But Pogba, I am definitely pro Pogba. I think the trouble is with Pogba is you do need to build a side around him. You need to make him feel loved, and he did it at the likes of Juve. He was that player. So why it's changed is obviously had something to do. Yes, he's a difficult character, but it's the way you treat poor Pogba is the reason why he acts like that, and I don't think we've treated him right. What kind of player are you in real life, and what position did you play and who for? So this is a good question. I've missed a few out there because I've covered them already. I've played in a fair few different positions. So when I was younger, in my teens, I was a striker. Occasionally I played on the left-hand side, even though I was right-footed, and I would cut in. But that was before inverted wingers or inside forwards, what they did now. This was like must be noughties, so like through the 2000s. So to be honest, I was before my time as a right-footed left forward. So I played a lot there. Played as a striker through certain different clubs. So I played for Ivybridge and Saltash, who are teams in like tier 10, I think it is. But then I sort of dropped down. So a couple of years ago, when I was last playing, on Saturdays I was playing as a striker, and on Sundays I was playing as either a right midfielder or a centre midfielder, because I've got a lot slower in my old age, and I've broke my foot, which for some reason when I came back I just lost so much pace, got so much slower. But I was a very good passer at the ball and a good crosser at the ball, and I was a good finisher and a good hold-up player. Just couldn't do anything else. Like I wasn't very quick. I wasn't very good at taking players on, so my dribbling wasn't exactly the best. I take a good free kick and a good penalty as well. I do that. I would. But I'll chuck in a clip of me scoring a goal on a cup final just to water the taste buds, if you will.
No, I just can't get over you. I was there for you in your darkest times. I was there for you in your darkest nights.
Great ball in the middle. Robinson, what a header that is. Well deserved second for Hedges, and certainly looks like they've come out in the second half wanting to win this game.
Well, 2 goals in the first 10 minutes to turn the game on its head, just like yesterday's cup final. And we asked at the start of the half how Bridgetown were going to approach it, and now we're going to see what they're made of, because they're really going to have to come and have a go and get back with a great header there from Luke Robinson.
I think the ball in was from Daniel O'Brien, and what a ball it was. Really just searching ball, right in no man's land between the keeper and the centre half, and what a header from Robinson to put Hedges 2-1 up here.
So next question from a random guy on the internet. From the big three of Istanbul, Galatasaray, Fenerbahce and Besiktas, which one will you support and why? Hopefully not going to start a war here. I'm going to ask FM Trek that one. Of course, FM Trek does a Fenerbahce save. I think Fenerbahce. I have no reason why. I like Diego. Remember the old player Diego? I liked him. That's why. Aditya Devara, what's your favourite position / role to play on the pitch and why? So I'll do both FM and in real life here. So FM is a deep line playmaker role in the CDM. On defend, that is my favourite role on the game. However, myself, I used to love playing in the number 10 role in the hole. I remember there was a season when I first joined my Saturday side that I played there and behind the striker. We had a very good striker called Zach Rosen, who I'm very good friends with now, and he scored a lot of goals. And I think he worked out, he scored something like 33 goals one season, and I assisted 29 of them. So we had a very good partnership going forward, and I just enjoyed playing in that role a lot, just in behind the midfield and the defenders. Jamie Hancock asks, what does your tattoos mean? So I've got quite a lot, so I won't go through all of them, but I've got two sleeves. One, this one, it's got Riddle Me This on it. It's also got another Batman quote on the inside. This one, it says Dancing in the Moonlight. That is my nan and granddad's song for their 50th wedding anniversary, so I always think about that one, and it's got the music play button down the bottom there, which links to that. Saturn, because I used to like space and stuff. I've got a little boat there, which was my granddad. Me and my granddad used to make little model boats in his shed, so that's the reason why I have that one. Mi familia, mi vida, my family, my world. And then on my leg I have a massive owl tattoo, which I'll try and put the thing up for that. And then of course I've got two on my neck, so I have the Omega symbol there, and I have the two arrows there, which you can't see. That one there, we have like 5 or 6, might even be more now, in our friendship group, who all had the same tattoo in different places on their body, and it actually means Native American for friendship, so that's the reason for those tattoos. Oh, I also have a 30 Seconds to Mars tattoo on my leg, which I never really remember, and I wasn't drunk. I was fully aware I was having it, and I wanted it. It was their album that they had. I can't even Faith, Lust, and something like that. Faith, Love, and some shit. I really like the album, and I got it. It's a nice tattoo. I don't regret having it. It's a nice tattoo. I'll just forget about it. Jack Killick asks, who is your favourite non-regen player ever? That is a difficult one, Jack, but I think I'll have to go for Lucas Romero, who obviously played in that sort of CDM role for a fair few years. He's still on the game, but he's not quite what he used to be. But he was a solid player. I loved using Lucas Romero. Maybe him or Kevin Gamiro, who in FM12 was an insane striker for PSG. So I've had a few questions, who you support and why, and what's your favourite football club, and who's your favourite footballer. So I'll answer it all in one go. So I do support Manchester United. Of course, I am also favoured to support Plymouth Argyle because I'm from Plymouth. But the reason why I support Manchester United is when I was young, I liked the colour red. And I liked David Beckham. He was a bit of an icon for someone who was born in 1992. So it just sort of matched up. I went and watched a few England games where he did very well. I was actually in the crowd behind the goal when he scored that free kick against Greece. So I was actually devastated when he left. And then straight away, I then sort of went to Ronaldo, who obviously played very well for us in the latter stages of his career as well. So Manchester United is my team. My favourite player, I'm going to go with all time. I'm going to stick with it. It's David Beckham. Simon SB asked, if you had to choose only one team, would it be Eintracht Frankfurt or would it be Feyenoord? So, of course, he's saying that because Frankfurt is my Bundesliga side after my save I did for the very first episode of this channel 1 year ago. And Feyenoord is the team I'm using right now, World Rotterdam Nation. I'm going to have to go for Frankfurt because Feyenoord, I've only done 2 seasons there. I haven't quite created the legacy that I did at Eintracht Frankfurt in FM19. So Frankfurt is my favourite side out of those two. Antonio Governo now, Patreon member Antonio. One of the members that you'll see on Discord if you do join quite often, very late at night. Is Antonio. Is Eamon Brophy the best striker in Scotland? Well, you tell me, because I don't know much about Scottish football, Antonio, but he is a Kilmarnock player. I know that because you bring him up quite often. Thoughts on this year's match engine? It hasn't been great, has it? I don't think we've had a good match engine since FM18, like one where there was a lot less complaints. They've rectified it, to say the least, but with the start of the game, we had a lot of one-on-ones, which was very annoying, but the corners after a highlight really do my tits in why we have to watch it. They really need to take that out because when you do score from a corner now, you're not even paying attention because you're so used to a corner never just getting headed out and cleared and then you don't actually see it. Favourite wrestler? that has to be The Rock, of course. The Rock is the great one. It lives up to his name. NBA or FIFA? I'm going to go with NBA. I've really enjoyed NBA, and I haven't played FIFA since FIFA 18. I cannot stand the game anymore. EA just don't like their fans, I guess, because the game just gets worse and worse. So that's unfortunate. And favourite save I have ever done? That's going to be a difficult one. There's a PSG save, which I referenced earlier on FM12, which I really enjoyed. Youth to Gold is, of course, up there. We haven't quite finished that yet. That would be amazing if I end that on Champions League glory. Conquering Scandinavia is not up there for me. There was a Pentagon challenge I did on FM16, I think, when I was doing my apprenticeship. I used to take my laptop into college and play that instead of actually doing the work because I was so far ahead of my college work. And I used to play that as a Pentagon challenge, and I won the Champions League at the likes of Flamengo. I won it in New Zealand with a team. I won it with Supersport United, who are another one of my favourite sides from South America now. And then Colorado Rapids, I won the North American, and then I won the European with Barcelona and Benfica. So I did it back-to-back years. I won it with Benfica, then moved to Barcelona and won it again. But I never got round to going back to Asia and finishing Asia's Champions League. So that's disappointing. But when you go to Barcelona, why would you want to go back to China? Meeks ask, what new features do you think should be added in the next FM21? I don't really know new features, but there would be a lot of changes, so I'd make the press conferences a little bit more fun. They're very annoying and the same. Of course, Match Engine, we could always have updates and stuff like that. We'd like better graphics. Whether it's doable with the certain systems is questionable, but of course I like 2D anyway. I'm a 2D guy, and I know a lot of you guys are as well. The nostalgia of the 2D. Maybe have better features for like online draft and stuff like that. Make that a little bit more customizable, because I've never really done the online saves, and I think you can do a lot more with that. Make it more customizable. That's what I like. We head over to Discord questions now. New Team FM loyalty. What would be your tips for starting YouTube, and what was your biggest influence on starting YouTube? So I did reference my tips on starting the YouTube. I would say as well, like, although I mentioned, of course, the webcam, don't go in there thinking that you're going to get like thousands of subscribers and be as lucky as what I have been within a year, because there are a lot of people who are doing this and have been doing this for 3 or 4 years who don't even have 1,000 subscribers, and they still enjoy doing it. Only do it if you enjoy doing it. When it becomes a burden doing the editing and stuff like that, stop. And we've seen the likes of Jim G, unfortunately, stop because he puts so much time into editing and he doesn't think the reward of the amount of viewers he is getting and the YouTube algorithm, which is a tough one to crack, really warrants continuing doing it. I've just been very lucky with the FM Scout deal. I've been able to plug my stuff on FM Scout to 70,000 subscribers on a daily basis. So I've managed to catch most people who would think, oh, I'll check him out. He keeps barking on about it. So they've ended up coming across that way. If I didn't do the FM Scout thing, who knows? I might never have ended up being here right now. I might never have ended up continuing doing so and continue it, because I would probably have found half of you guys and enjoyed as much as what I have enjoyed doing YouTube. So I would suggest focusing on just enjoying it to begin with. Don't focus on the viewers and the numbers. Let that be when you get a little bit bigger. But my biggest influence on YouTube, I don't think there's any mistakes about it. It is, of course, Dr. Benji. I think he's the best YouTuber around. I know, of course, Jack has the most followers or the most subscribers, but I think Dr. Benji just makes the best content. And if you watch his stuff and watch my stuff, you can probably see the comparison, because I copy what I like. Because it's the same style as me. He's very charismatic. He likes to put in a few different comedy bits, which I like to do as well. He likes to talk very fast, which I like to do as well. And I think me and him are similar content creators. I just think he's the best. I really do think he's the best around. And I think that's probably my biggest influence on YouTube. There are others, like the likes of Loki Doki as well. Second Yellow Card, I've always watched him and enjoyed Second Yellow Card. So I have had some other influences, but it's Dr. Benji's the biggest one. Olivia asks if Sports Interactive contacts you to remove one functionality and to add a new one, what would it be? So I would remove the press conferences, all the media stuff. I don't ever use it, so to me it doesn't really matter. But to add a new one, I'd like to see stadiums. I want to see you be able to customize a stadium and build a stadium within the game. We used to be able to do it on LMA Manager where you could actually see the stadium and pick what the stadium looks like. I'd love to be able to do that on Football Manager. Antonio is back on Discord now with favourite movie and favourite TV show. So my favourite movie of all time outside of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, because I basically count that as all as one. But Infinity War and Endgame are just... They are up there, aren't they? Outside of the superhero genre, let's go. Back to the Future is my all-time favourite movie. I love time travel. I love movies just like that. I can put it on at any time and just enjoy it. And the second one's good. The third one, not as good as the first two. But I love Back to the Future. Favourite TV show is got to be Friends. I watch it pretty much on a daily basis if it's on. Even though I've seen every single episode at least 25 times, I will watch it again. I pretty much know all the words. US Office, of course, is up there as well. And outside of like that comedy sitcom genre, Daredevil Season 2. Daredevil Season 2 is absolutely amazing. Now, Lander comes in with quite an interesting question. My assistant manager of the Final Save, Lander, are you planning to keep the channel about FM only, or will you cover other games or topics here as well? Now, when I first started this channel, it was not going to be just Football Manager based, and I have spoke about this before in the past. The reason why the logo says the King of Sim is because I wanted to play simulator games. I wanted to play Motorsport Manager. I wanted to play like Total War, those games. I love simulator games. I'm good at a few different simulator games. I'd even love to play the simulator version of NBA. Really, I'm no good playing the actual game. But I'd love to play the simulator version of the NBA game. And I haven't been able to do that on this channel because I managed to pick up quite a few subs very early on playing Football Manager because it was the first game I decided to play. And now my channel's sort of like just FM based. So long-term plan, I would like to play different games on it, and I'm hoping people just enjoy watching me, so they would like to watch other stuff. And myself and Lander actually have something planned in the future regarding a game that hasn't come out yet that we could potentially bring on the channel. So let me know down in the comments if you'd like to see other games and what type of games. I mean, simulator games is really all I am good at, but yeah, I am thinking about doing that, but I hope it doesn't like kill my channel in a way, but who knows. Now, Genki has also wrote in a few different questions, so I'll pick out a couple of them from the Discord. If you can name one player of the past to come back and play for your favourite team, who will you choose? Of course, that would be Cristiano Ronaldo to Manchester United. It almost happened, but unfortunately, he never did. Do you plan on doing a Journeyman series in the future? Definitely. I want to do a Journeyman series next on Twitch, twitch.tv/MegaLuke Gaming. I don't want to stay at one club again. I've done a lot of those saves recently, and the new Twitch save, I'd like to do something different. Maybe like a Road to Anywhere, sort of like what Boot does, where there's not really a lot of rules. Maybe I'll chuck in a couple of rules, who knows, but that is something I'd like to do. What can we as a community do more to push you higher in the streaming ranks? So, just watch me. Really, it's weird, isn't it? Watching me is obviously the biggest thing to support me by. So when I do go live, the more people I have watching, the better you look, I guess, streaming wise on Twitch. Having more followers on Twitch obviously looks better. So obviously the big guys who are doing like the Streamer Showdown and stuff, but at the minute they're picking the bigger guys because they're reliable. Eventually they are looking at doing different content creators. I'd love to be involved in that because I've enjoyed the first two, and who knows, that might happen in the future if I do continue to grow on Twitch. But helping me through watch times is obviously going to help me a lot. Other than that, it's difficult to say, but like when other content creators or when people ask, oh, who's the best content creator, or who do you enjoy watching content, like actually word of mouth is one of the biggest things. Word of mouth. people would not grow if it wasn't for word of mouth. And people in the past, I've checked out because of word of mouth, and now I watch all the time. Dr. Benji was word of mouth for me. I watched Jack Work the Space. It was the first YouTuber that I found. He then said about he then said about Dr. Benji. That's how I've watched Dr. Benji. So word of mouth, don't ever rule out. But hey, you guys support me enough already. I'm very grateful for what you guys do. The final question then comes from Jason, and he has put, I've got a question, Luke. Is there a club that you always choose on every FM version? A very good question. There actually isn't, and I'm quite proud of the fact that I don't ever do the same sort of thing. So when I was younger, I always used to do Manchester United save because it was my favourite club. But later on, when it got to about 2010, I started broadening my horizons and trying different clubs, trying different countries, which I definitely implore you all to do. Some people like to stay with the same, but I find it very repetitive. And I even like to think that next year, I might even stay away from the leagues I've done in the past as well. So I've already done, of course, in this save, in this series of Football Manager, I've done Italy with AC Milan, my beta save. I've done Scandinavia, I've done France, I've now done the Super League, but I'd quite like to do the Super League again because it comes across as so many different leagues. But maybe I will consider not doing the Eredivisie because I've been finaled in the Super League. So many different saves that I could potentially do in the future. I'd like to do a South America one. I think that really appeals to me in the future as well. So let me know down in the comments if there's a league you want me to try. But there we have it then, guys. I know I've missed out a few different questions, but else I could be rattling on for ages, and you guys definitely don't want that. You've seen my face long enough now, but I hope you've enjoyed this little Q&A. I hope you got to know me a little bit more. I've enjoyed doing it. Thank you very much for the questions. 1 whole year of Omega Luke Gaming. I'm excited to see what will happen this time a year in the future. If I had to predict, I would love to be around 10,000 subscribers. It's a massive ask. It is a massive ask. But I never thought I'd manage to have 3,000 subscribers after a year. I would honestly suggest that I would be pushing for the 1,000 subscribers at this point, a year on. So the fact that we are 3 times more than that, realistically, I think by the end of the year, at the start of the year, I said I'd like to be at 5k by 2021, by FM 2021. If I manage to get to 10k by this point next year, the second anniversary of Omega Luke Gaming, I would be absolutely over the moon. But that relies on your support. Your support so far has been absolutely fantastic. For those of you who are subscribed and comment and like the videos and everything like that, massive thank you. But there is still a percentage who watch every single one of my videos who hasn't subscribed yet. So if that is you, please, it just takes seconds to go down, press that red subscribe button, so I pop up in your notification boxes a lot more. So please, thank you very much for watching this massive Q&A video. I've barked on enough now. Happy birthday, Omega Luke Gaming. As a channel, it's not my real birthday. I know people have been confused by that already. But I'll see you tomorrow for another World Rotterdam Nation save. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Thank you very much for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, I have picked another one for you just down below. And if you want to support the channel anymore, then there is a Patreon there, which you can sponsor a player. Why not? Treat yourself.